All right, shalom, family. Before I get into this very brief video, I first want to make sure that you all can hear me and see me nice and clearly. Okay, this is going to be a very short, very brief announcement, but I want to make sure that everything is nice and clear before I proceed. Okay, wonderful. All right, so let me get straight to the point. All right, obviously this is an impromptu video, but it is a very necessary and important impromptu video based on some things that have recently come to our attention concerning a few members of the body. So in reference to anyone, and this is directed specifically for those who are in the Orlando, Florida body. If you were either a family or an individual who decided to make plans to leave the country in affiliation with a brother by the name of Nathan Ben, again, let me say this again. If you decided to make plans to leave the country or have left the country in affiliation with a brother by the name of Nathan Ben, we need you to immediately get in contact with us, reach out to us through the following email address: GOCCSouth@yahoo.com. Again, GOCCSouth@yahoo.com. If you've decided to, make plans, we're hearing that people, made decisions and made plans to sell everything they had, to make moves to different parts of the earth, or what have you. But nonetheless, if you were one of those people who made those decisions, we need you to send an email to GOCCSouth@yahoo.com. Okay? Now, some of you may be wondering why I am making this announcement. Okay? And I want to make this clear. All right? Throughout the years, we have made it very, very clear. Okay? And we've made it known through many lessons and through many live discussions with brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay? And the discussion that we've had with brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth was that when it comes to plans, and this is specifically those who are amongst the body, those who are following the church and those who have been with us gathering and things of that nature. Okay? Or even if you're sitting home watching online or what have you. Okay? All right. And we want to make that clear. Brother Nathan Ben. Okay? If you have been associated or if you've been in affiliation with him with plans to leave the country, please contact us through GOCCSouth@yahoo.com. Okay? All right. And if I said Deacon Nathan Ben, Salakia, I want to make that clear. Okay? The brother is not a deacon. He is a brother who is amongst the church, okay, who at one point was entrusted in a position but misused that particular position. Okay? So I want to make that very clear. So if you have made plans with him to leave the country, all right, to sell your possessions, all that you have or what have you, okay, or any affiliation whatsoever that you may have had with this brother, okay, that have caused you to make life-changing decisions, we need you to get in contact with us ASAP. And again, many of you may be wondering, why are we making this a public announcement? Well, the reason why we have to make this a public announcement is this. We've made it clear through the past years that there have been many situations where people have used either influence or have used the fear of others to convince them to do things which are against any instruction, any order, or anything that has been set forth by the leadership and the elders of the church. Okay? And brothers and sisters have to realize that when that happens, when you make these life-changing decisions to do things such as selling your possessions, to do things as far as leaving the country and making those types of preparations, you have to understand that when there's no guidance, when it's not done in decency and order, when it's not done properly, what tends to happen is that people will make these moves. They'll find themselves in a position in which they find out when they get to a country or when they get to the destination that they have been convinced that, this is the place we need to be. This is the place that the Most High put on my spirit to show me, to guide you, because the elders don't have a plan. The elders don't, they're not bringing anything forward. They're not telling us where to flee, when to flee, so on and so forth. So people start to use the fear of others to basically aggrandize themselves. Okay? But when the people get to the location, when they get to the destination, okay, that they have been convinced to migrate to or to move to, after this person then riled them up and use their fears as a mechanism to convince them to make these moves, they begin to find out that, well, there's nothing going on in this country. There's nothing going on in this place where I've moved to. I've uprooted myself, okay, from my home. I had a career, had a job. All these things were in place when I sat still and just listened to the elders, okay, who are over the church and have guided us up until this point. Okay. And let me deal with this and address this point that people will use to state that the elders don't have any plans, okay, or not planning or not letting us know anything. If anyone has been in this body, and even those who have been watching online, and understand, okay, not just when COVID took place, but throughout the years, we've been letting brothers and sisters know, make sure you have food, make sure you have preparations and things stored up in your home in case of an emergency. Make sure you have your traveling documents so that you can make moves when it's time, okay? And you will be guided directly from leadership when it is time. These are things we've been discussing over the years, okay? Now, there's many things that we discuss privately in meetings with elders and deacons and officers, what have you, that cannot be discussed in particular on this live stream, okay? That's another conversation for another day. But I'm making it clear so that when people come to you in the future, because we know that this is not the first time and it will not be the last time. So when people come to you in the future telling you, okay, and put you in fear to make you believe that there's no plans, the elders are not moving quick enough, they're not telling us where to go, they're not telling us when to go. When people try to put that fire under your skirt, the first thing you need to do is get in contact with an elder. Okay? Get in contact with leadership. Okay? And ask this person, did you receive this information from leadership? Did Elder Ricard tell you to give this or provide this information to me? Okay? Did Elder LAWYA or any of the other elders who are in place give you this information to make the moves and to make these announcements that you are making? And if they say no, if they say, well, I haven't told them yet, still figuring it out, or, I'll tell them in the future, so on and so forth, know that you're dealing with a scam artist who is using your fear to scam you. Okay? Again, we're making this clear because it is not the first time and it is not the last. And what happens when people get out there, when they start doing things, and hey, people may get harmed in the process. And the reality is that when people get harmed, what tends to happen is what? The person who convinced them to make these moves on the outside of guidance from leadership fizzles out, nowhere to be found, and the elders are the ones who get blamed for the decisions that these people made that led them to being harmed. Okay? So I'm going to make this clear right now. Okay? And I'm going to make the announcement one more time, and then we're going to close out. We have a meeting, okay, /class with the brothers and sisters in the Florida body at 7 p.m. Okay? If you need the information to get into that call specifically for Florida, send an email to gocccsouth@yahoo.com. Okay? Now, I'm going to make this clear one more time. Do not allow anyone to use your fear, okay, to use your curiosity, or to use the fact that, hey, maybe because you're not in the meetings with the elders and deacons, okay? But if you're in the body, anything that we discuss, okay, that is worth value for the body and the guidance of the body, you'll receive that information anyway. It's in your announcements that the leadership receives every Sabbath. So if it's not coming from the leaders in your announcements, and someone is coming with a different plan or a different scheme outside of anything that you've heard from us personally, understand that you're dealing with a scammer, a charlatan, okay, who is being controlled and used as a vessel for a devil, a demon. Okay, that's what's taking place. It's not someone who is in concern for you, not someone who is worried about your ability to make it from one place to the next or to be saved in this time. It is someone who is seeking to scam you. And you have to be aware of that. Okay, so again, for future references, anyone else who decides to do this in the future will be blasted the same way we're blasting it out today. You have a brother by the name of Nathan Ben, okay, who decided to get with some people amongst the body and convince them to do things outside of the guidance of leadership, okay, to sell their possessions and move to different places in the earth, okay, or what have you. That directive did not come from us. It did not come from Elder Rakashiar, Elder LAWYA, or any other elder amongst this body, okay? So with that, I want to say blessings of shalom. If you're in the Florida area, if you're one of those people, listen, we understand the nature of being impressionable, okay? We don't necessarily blame you, okay? But we do need to speak with you and make sure that you understand, okay, that we had nothing to do with anything that took place with you selling your possessions and moving to different places in the earth or what have you. We had nothing to do with that, okay? And we would like to have that conversation with you and explain that with you in further detail, obviously off of this this broadcast. Okay, but really, this is something that everyone needs to hear and understand, especially with the time that we're coming into. We're coming into a time in which a lot of pressure is going to be coming down on the brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of this earth. Okay, those who are amongst this body, you're going to see a lot of things that's going to cause and going to test you in this time, to test your ability to withstand a lot of what's going to be coming down the pipe. Okay, to test your faith, to test your strength. A lot of things are going to come down the pipe, and initially it's going to put you in fear, right? And that fear, depending on how you deal with it, that fear is going to drive you to make a decision outside of your better judgment. Okay, thinking that you're making a decision for yourself and for your family, so on and so forth, and it's going to lead you to a place where you can't return from. Okay, it's going to lead you down a path that you cannot return from. So we're making that clear so that if anyone makes these decisions in the future, regardless of the excuse, we're going to have to let you know respectfully, you know, we can't move any further with you. Okay, we can't move forward with you. All right. But those who have made this decision, again, if you're in the Florida body, if you've made that decision with this brother Nathan Ben, please get in contact with us, send an email to GOCC South. Okay. And with that, I say bless you and shalom.